SpaceX spacecraft found something weird in outer space. Space and ocean are among those things which mankind has not explored to the fullest. Either it is impossible for humans to reach the extent, or there are not suitable technologies developed. But if someone goes there, chances are that something strange or weird is being discovered. It is not that those things are made strange, they are called strange because they are unknown to humans. Elon Musk is the CEO of SpaceX, which has been launching spacecrafts for a long time. There are numerous things which have been explored in space. Sometimes these things leave the astronauts questioned, while other times there are new discoveries made. This is the same fate for SpaceX. Many times it has found some weird objects in outer space which might have left them questioned. Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting video from Elon Musk's newest. In this video, we will be looking at some of the weird things found by SpaceX spacecraft in outer space. But before we get started, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us. That said, now come, let's take a look. SpaceX piloted the Crew Dragon, a capsule designed for carrying astronauts to the International Space Station on a demonstration mission on Thursday. The craft was uncrewed during the test, but SpaceX says it will begin sending people into space aboard the capsule as soon as late 2018. The trip went smoothly until 4:30 a.m. Eastern Friday morning, when cameras aboard the capsule showed a mysterious object just outside of its frame. The video footage appears to show some sort of UFO-like floating object, or perhaps an alien creature moving past the craft in zero gravity. President and Chief Executive of United Launch Alliance, Tory Bruno, tweeted that something did fly by spacecraft, but he also pointed out that nothing abnormal was detected by radar at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station or by an Air Force jet assigned to keep tabs on the spacecraft's speed and altitude during its flight to the ISS. That would seem to rule out any kind of space debris or space junk from previous missions as the culprit behind this strange sighting. It's unclear what the object could have been or where it came from. The most likely scenario is that it's a piece of cloth or some other light material that became loose during the space station's construction, NASA officials said. It's possible the object was a piece of space junk, but that's not what it looked like. The astronauts said the object was about 4 feet long and cylindrical and seemed to be tumbling in orbit. It's improbable, but there is another spacecraft out there since all the other vehicles launched into space this year have been accounted for. Towards the end of the Falcon 9's 9-minute ascent to orbit, a piece of space debris was spotted in SpaceX's video feed. According to company representatives, it was a piece of ice that had broken off from an internal support bracket inside the second-stage liquid oxygen tank. The ice chunk was seen moving away from the spacecraft and did not threaten Dragon or its cargo. NASA spokesman Rob Navius said during Spaceflight Now's launch webcast that Dragon is in absolutely no danger whatsoever here. The ice block is estimated to have measured about 6 inches by 3 inches by 1 inch. It is unclear exactly how big the object was based on the video feed, since it did not appear to be as large as initially thought. SpaceX officials said the debris would not cause any damage to the spacecraft, but it was a concern nevertheless. They're keeping an eye on it. NASA spokesman Josh Byerly told Space.com, "I think that the part is probably some thermal blanket that got torn off from the capsule," SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk wrote in a Twitter message. The astronauts could secure the hatch and relieve pressure inside the capsule. According to CNN, NASA has said that the conditions are stable with the crew aboard the ISS, and there is no indication of leaks or other problems. SpaceX's uncrewed Dragon cargo capsule arrived at the ISS on Wednesday after a delay due to a faulty locking mechanism. According to NASA and SpaceX, the capsule successfully docked at 4:58 p.m. EST, reaching the ISS roughly 10 minutes later. It will remain docked until January 13, when it will return to Earth with 3,000 pounds of scientific samples, including blood and urine samples, collected by astronaut Scott Kelly during his year-long mission aboard the ISS. Faulty locking mechanisms have delayed previous SpaceX missions to the ISS. In 2015, a malfunctioning sensor prevented the capsule from arriving at the ISS on time. In 2012, one of the two mechanisms that controlled the capsule's approach to the ISS failed during the launch. The space agency has said it has high confidence in this particular docking mechanism and that it did not expect any issues with this flight, according to The Guardian. The issue was resolved, but the space agency is still investigating the problem. It's possible that debris struck the capsule during liftoff and damaged a switch of some kind. But it's also possible that the problem was due to a faulty sensor or some kind of human error from SpaceX employees who assembled the rocket. The Dragon cargo ship will spend 5 days docked at the ISS before returning to Earth on May 11th. In addition to the crew supplies and research equipment aboard, it's also carrying something called an IDA-3. This is a dummy version of the upper portion of SpaceX's latest human-crewed spacecraft. known as Dragon V2. The next time a V2 flies, it will be carrying humans. This test version doesn't have any life support systems or seats, just a dummy in an orange spacesuit sitting in the same position as a human would be. SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk said the explosion occurred about 2 minutes and 19 seconds into the flight, following a successful liftoff from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. Later, the company updated its statement to say that it appears that Falcon 9 experienced a problem around start of first stage shutdown. Musk said in a tweet that the problem originated around the upper stage oxygen tanks. There's still no indication yet of what the object was precisely, though it very likely was a piece of space debris flying past. After all, Earth's orbit is filled with junk from decades of international space travel. According to Russian media reports, the agency said the object was most likely a piece of space debris. The space agency also noted it could have been a part of an old satellite or something else entirely, Interfax reported. The agency added that it could not track the object because it had not had enough time to study its flight path. Reports did not say when exactly the US military spotted the fireball, still it was likely sometime between late Monday and early Tuesday, local time, since that's when the meteor shower peaked. According to NASA, tens of thousands of people were expected to watch across Russia during the meteor shower, which peaks every year on August 12th. The meteor shower is also called the Perseids, since they appear to come from a constellation called Perseus in the northern hemisphere sky. The space debris could have been a part of that constellation too, according to Interfax. On February 6, 2009, the world marked the 50th anniversary of the launch of Sputnik 1, the Earth's first artificial satellite. Since that day, thousands of satellites have been launched into low Earth orbit, LEO. Unfortunately, an estimated 10,000 or more pieces of debris, more significant than a softball, are still in orbit. Imagine an errant piece of hardware colliding with a satellite at 27,000 miles per hour. The results could be disastrous. In 2007, the Chinese military used a land-based missile to destroy one of its satellites. The resulting debris cloud has created even more problems for Space Situational Awareness (SSA) experts who monitor objects in orbit. NASA fears that another collision could create a chain reaction that would make low Earth orbit (LEO) unusable for decades. This situation is becoming increasingly problematic for those who work in space and those who use satellites for navigation and communications here on Earth. But the reality is that our growing reliance on orbiting spacecraft makes dealing with space debris an issue we must address sooner rather than later. Tired of paying tens of millions of dollars each time his team launched a rocket into space, Musk co-founded SpaceX with the dream of creating reusable rockets that could bring down launch costs by as much as tenfold. And on Monday, after nearly 3 years of work, his company took one small step toward that goal when it successfully landed a Falcon 9R Dove rocket on an autonomous drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. The landing was heralded as a breakthrough for SpaceX and the commercial spaceflight industry and even humanity at large. Musk thinks reusable rockets will one day enable us to live on other planets and even establish a colony on Mars. The Falcon 9R Dev is an integral part of making those dreams a reality. But before we can colonize anywhere else in our solar system, we have to figure out how to clean up what's already here. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content and latest updates. See you in the next video.